Hi. So, it's, I think it was 10:29 a.m. on 18 June. We lose track of the days. This is a video about content. This is not one about beauty, folks. I mean, if ever there was a homeless man left homeless in the world, you are looking at him right here. It is Renee Helmerich. I am like homeless. You have no idea how actually literally homeless I am. Like to the point of where after tomorrow, the only other place I can think of being right now is the psych ward in a hospital. So, go figure. Anyway, so I've been wearing the same clothes for 20 days. It's June 18th, and I've been wearing them since the homeless shelter on the 30th of May, which gave me a weapon inside the shelter to defend myself against their nonsense, which they weren't filing to the police. But then, somehow, I ended up in this hotel room at the Sandman Hotel at 180 West Street, Vancouver, and I had all this money then, and I was swiping my Visa card, and it was like, we're sorry, we can only give you $500 a day was even, I think, the limit on the first day. And the room cost more than $500. So the woman there, was it Gravinda? It was Gravinda. Anyway, she was the one that said, well, and I said, Gravinda, just hold on here. I'm honest. Like, this is really my problem. I have no idea what is happening right now. So Gravinda calls. She's a very, very nice woman. She's trying to take my money, obviously. Oh, and by the way, there's 4 other hotels. They said, no, we're not going to keep you here because you're only paying with cash and you're like the quantum variable, unknown, super ultra red flag of cash only businesses. So we're definitely not going to take you, okay? Anyway, Gravinda says, yeah, sure, just call us Visa people. If you got the money, we'll take you. Okay, well, hey, Visa people, how come my Visa card isn't working? Then I find out there's this whole other rule. You can give the bank as much money in the world, but they can limit how much you actually spend of your own money. Did you know that, folks? Anyway, so apparently I've had this daily $1,000 allowance, which was set by the bank, folks. It wasn't even set by me. It was set by the bank. So $1,000 daily allowance set by the bank. And we're plugging the Pope on that one. And we're definitely interested in these two objects that I've placed in front of me to remember all this. So this here's the US dollar, which, by the way, just want to let you know from the other video, folks, we're going to try not to repeat this stuff. From the other video, folks, this is replaceable by real gold at the 1971 value of the gold to US dollar, which was about, like $35 and $35 US per ounce. So the world's currencies officially, as soon as somebody can verify that either of the two, not just one, but 2 already logical ways to make real gold can work, and that means any chemist in the world can work this one out, okay? As long as you can verify, and I guess, well, then I'll have to share those recordings with you. My God, I've been keeping them on my phone. I haven't really done anything with them, actually. I've just been like, oh, that's cool, I worked that one out. But I already worked that one out long ago. I already know that you can make real gold. But apparently, the guy that was with me, he didn't believe it, so I told it to him. So he followed along. He said, wow, you can really do that? So the first guy was Mike, and then the other guy, I don't know if it was... anyway, so... Anyway, I used real people there on that one to ping that one. And then, so we know it's true that way. In trust we God. In God we trust part is cute on the bill, by the way. So the fine clause, just re-emphasizing that in the Canadian Constitution of the whole, in God we trust, and the law part. It means that when God sends someone along who's just wound up a little bit more to a little bit more awareness in real time, that from his perspective, and unfortunately I'm dearly sorry, I did learn this one using actual objects, okay? I'm sorry, Lindsay, I'm so sorry for my driving. Oh my God. And I have been wondering, I'm like, is it wrong for me to say that I'm actually considered society's worst driver? Would that be in any way an understatement? And well, the honest answer to that is, if I had to consider myself in terms of society's standard of normal, I would be among the most worst of pretty much any crowd, including the drivers. So, I'm seeing objects that are stationary, and I'm moving around them. And Lindsay is still seeing them in motion, and she's forgetting that we are actually piling past them way too much for them to even register the fact that we were even there in their blind spot to begin with. So you don't have to worry about me and your blind spot, folks. Just passing through it, okay? Just passing through it. Gotta catch that. Gotta catch on to that one. So if you like throw anything in my way to stop me at all, there's like, rain down a rooftop. When does it ever stop at obstacles? It makes it to the ocean, doesn't it? It's detoured sometimes. Clouds actually made raindrops. Just filling in on the details. So there's this is video 2, and then I don't know. I never really know what comes out, but I was sitting down just to have a smoke, and then it said, give me all your time, or something like that. And I was like, well, I've been listening to you for like the last 12 years. You've put me through literal hell, like friggin' hell. First, I'm a good college teacher, looking after my kid. I'm a single dad, living at my mom's place, paying the second mortgage on her house, trying to make ends meet, working 3 jobs, 2 at the college. At the college, I'm the only part-time teacher at Ontario's biggest college that has his own office and got to write his own job description. So we'll just let that one go. But at the college, I have a pretty good reputation. So my managers there were like, the fuck just happened? Like, what the fuck just happened? So anyway, then, okay. And I told my boss this, my God, okay. Matt Greaves, I still want to have a beer with you at your place when this is all done. And you said yes. And I want that beer. So Matt Greaves says to me, I'm in his office. And I told him, so I applied to the Board of Ed to get in as a public school board teacher because they're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. Even in the world, comparatively, Canadian teachers are paid a lot of money, a lot of money. So anyway, they're making a lot of money. And I did my sister's taxes, and I know exactly how much she's making. That got her back a heck of a return too, which she still doesn't believe was legal, but I definitely know it was legal because the government backed right off when I said I can still back do the other 5 years. So they backed right off. It was over 10,000 I surprised her with. So I can do the paperwork, I can do the legal stuff, I can do the taxes, and I'm good with that. Her jaw dropped actually, and the government did send that letter, and I did write back, and I said, did you want me to do the other 5 years too? And we never heard back from them. And my sister still doesn't really understand what happened there, and I just want her to know. I was like, sis, what I did was absolutely legal. The government knew that. They were just doing a cross-check, and we're all good. We understand that. It's good to do that, honestly good to do that. I totally didn't mind. Didn't think anything bad about it. I was like, sis, can I do your back taxes? Do you want to split this half-half? Because it's I'm looking at over 10,000 for 2 years. That's another 25,000. It'll take me a couple days to do this. Can we just share it? She actually says no. And then she repeated, she hasn't talked to me since. And it's what? You used to call me the smartest guy you know. Why did you stop talking to the smartest guy that you used to think was the smartest guy? Over a misunderstanding? Anyway. She got the life she wanted, sort of, kind of. It was an echo of a previous life we had together. We were actually married in past life, lived in England. Anyway, so I do remember past lives also. Me physically, me. So there are different levels. But when you bridge them in a real-time sense, and that reminds me. So what I've actually done with the Vancouver police, okay, so they might need the explanation on this one. So this is good to include. So, so I've indicted the Vancouver police, basically the whole Vancouver team of criminal something. Okay, so we'll just get over that for now. But the reason for doing that, there's actually a deeper reason for doing that. Because there's actually this international watchdog agency, government spy stuff. If you watch the movie Snowden, Edward Snowden, in there it talks about his work for the NSA. And he was one of an elite group of computer programmers that could basically hack everybody's email. And what they were doing at that time was monitoring everybody's email. But his issue was that the United States was actually monitoring using over 50% of their resources just to monitor one country's email, and that's an inequality. And so when you reach that level of smartness, you watch your equal scales. You make sure they're always fucking equal, because if you reach that level and your equal scales are not equal, you're over the edge of psychotic. We're talking infinite smartness. Okay, so there is an unbreakable written rule that you cannot break, and that is consistency must apply to itself. And when you recognize that you are the smartest one in the room, you also recognize that you have an authority to care over the consistency of that environment. So literally, Edward Snowden was actually the smartest one in that room. And then the other individuals who are less smart, less consistent, which from the other person's perspective means dishonest, which from their perspective, the dishonest people means dishonest, because we actually, as honest, we think it's all the same thing. But so they then, all of the stuff that they were actually doing, they tried to pin on Edward Snowden. So he's hiding over in Russia right now. So that's not cool. But anyway, and these same, I mean, can I call them clowns on YouTube? They're actually back in the Taiwan right now, and Taiwan is legally actually a dictatorship. It's calling itself a democracy, and I covered all the whys of that in the previous video, so I won't go into it right now. But I'm telling you, the USA people, while they're sending any kind of news out there at all, that they're back in Taiwan at all, in that case, oh my God. Well, I mean, once is bad enough. Twice, don't fool me twice. So what were we talking about with the United States? Gee whiz, we definitely weren't talking about anything bad. It's all good. Consistency. Honesty is consistency. To the Vancouver team. The NSA is undoubtedly, I mean without a doubt, onto me. Like, come on, let's be absolutely real about this, okay? So I've heard an echo, and that echo was that for a brief moment they actually considered, can we just forget this guy? And they actually made the order. In that lifetime, that future, that one future that has to exist out of all the infinite futures where they made that order, I heard that echo. And that echo was, just forget the guy. Ignore the guy. Don't talk to the guy. Just pretend like the guy doesn't exist. While you are at work with us, you are complete our robots. When you go outside the door, then you can believe in God and other things like that, and you can remember the guy. But while you are in our space, you have to forget that guy. That was the actual order they gave, and then we're going to play that one out into a logical conclusion of where everybody outside is talking about me and wondering, are you serious when you say you didn't hear about me yet? I mean, we're just making sure that we're all on the same level. Oh, and by the way then, and we covered this in the last video too, at that point in time, China will have its own, worldwide organization, and the USA Bank, which is its own personal private government, actually, it's not even public funded, will be thrown out the window because we can make real gold. So yeah, so that was a little bit of a deeper digging there, but I would just have to make sure that the rights part, right? Anything you do and say can and definitely will be used against you if you're especially trying to impede the process of getting me appointed to the Governor General position of Canada. King of Canada. Thanks, folks.